There's a little beat for you, Jake.
Yeah, definitely stronger. He's improving as the day goes along, but it's Saturday. You can't slough off in the first half.
I'm tempted to take another commercial break to see what he comes back with the next one.
Attaboy.
Welcome back to the Cheap Seats. Jim Xamis Ford. Big blowout sale going on here today. 96.3.
Where's my truck go? What in the world?
They're going to fuel it up for you.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, don't be moving that thing around. It's going to add up the miles on it.
He's going in reverse, so don't add miles.
Okay, that's good.
You're in the Cheap Seats. Jake Johnston, Scott Kirby. Just wanted to mention a little bit about
videographing for us.
Yeah, we got a big deal going on out at the Speedway. They got some motorcycles coming into town.
Yeah. Kind of a last-minute throw it at us type thing, but, man, that's a big deal.
This is supposed to be up in Peoria, but their track is underwater. Literally underwater with all the flooding. So they're bringing it to Lincoln Speedway. Don't know.
Be happy to have that.
Absolutely.
Here. I mean, that's a nice little event. Anybody that likes the car racing out there, you'll love this. Get out there, have some fun. I mean, heck, it's going to be a beautiful day. Might as well get out there and enjoy it.
Absolutely. NBA playoffs going on.
Yeah.
Well, it went to a basketball game last night, and another football game broke out. The Bulls and the Heat. Game 2 got a little rough.
Chippy, yeah.
A little chippy. A lot of technicals. Flagrant fouls thrown, and then they followed up last night with a
good game.
A good game. The Bulls, we talked about it earlier, Jake, online. They're offline. They're just not very deep on the bench. They're missing Heinrich, Luau Dang. Obviously, Derrick Rose is out. And they have no bench. People that are coming in and playing normally wouldn't see the court.
Yep, that's exactly right. I mean, that's exactly right.
And they're stepping up.
They're stepping up. They're playing as hard as they can. They are short-handed right now, and to be honest, I think if you had one of the two, Heinrich or Dang, I believe they win that game last night. And to be honest, it's a series. I mean, if the Bulls could keep the mental mistakes away, they could be right there.
Well, they have to play tough and hard 4 quarters where
that's exactly right.
There is no break. And fourth, you come to the fourth quarter, they're gassed. They just have nothing left.
Yeah.
And it's just, the Heat are up 2-1 in the series right now. It is in Chicago. But
the Heat's going to win this series.
Yeah.
I mean, am I wrong saying that?
No, absolutely not. And they were projected to. And
easily.
The Bulls took game 1, which was a big surprise to a lot of people. But, they don't have the manpower. Where the Heat, they're bringing them at you. Who was the kid last night had 18 points? Cole?
Yeah.
I've never heard of the kid. I mean, I don't follow the NBA a whole lot just because I don't like the way – I don't know. It's just –
playoffs, I think, are a whole lot different than the regular season. I mean, you saw last night with the defense actually on both ends of the floor. Mm-hmm. It's there. It's very apparent. Right. Nate Robinson goes up and blocks LeBron on a fast breakout. Yeah. That was kind of fun to see.
And it's
but, like you were saying, they're shorthanded, and the Bulls are making these – to be honest, stupid mistakes.
Boneheaded. We got Joakim. He got another technical last night where the Birdman, if any of you don't know who the Birdman is, you need to check him out because he's a character.
Oh, yeah.
He went up and fouled Nate Robinson pretty hard, fell on him, and he was rolling off of him. And Joakim went down, pushed him. Well, that's you
can't do that.
Joakim just talked about it after last game. You got to keep your composure, play within yourself, and he is the motivator on that team.
Yeah.
He is the spark plug.
And he's the enforcer.
Right.
I mean, let's face it.
That's something.
He did what he was supposed to in that instance. That instance I wasn't so against.
It's with the Nazir Mohammed.
Which
he fouled LeBron. I don't know why he was fouling him up. I mean, he was about half court.
Well, it was, but LeBron was making a V-line straight for the hoop. Yeah. He was the last guy to stop him.
Well, Muhammad wrapped him up. LeBron kind of threw an elbow at Muhammad, and Muhammad retaliated, pushed him, and LeBron probably get a little bit of Oscar or Emmy on that, a little acting.
Oh, yeah.
Slid about 15 feet, and Muhammad was ejected from the game. Which
it should have been a double ejection. When a guy throws an elbow.
Yeah.
But and it was right in front of the referees, and they even replayed it.
Well, if they would have ejected LeBron, I mean, the whole NBA family would have went up, and you can't do that. You can't take
player in the game,
right? And you can't control the game like that. Let them play. Well, you kicked Muhammad out, and they're not very deep anyway. So
that's exactly right.
That hurt them because that was early. That was
especially
first quarter.
with Joakim having the foot problems and whatnot, and not being able to give him really a break for the rest of the game. That did hurt, and took 5 fouls away from the Bulls, which they could have definitely used. They could have used it to slow down the game, change the pace maybe later on, especially in the third and fourth quarter, when the Bulls were needing a little bit of a break maybe. I'm not saying an extended break, but just a little slowdown of the game. You throw in a foul, and that can give you that little break and give you a little win and get you going towards the end of the game, and they didn't have anybody to give those fouls.
And you see what the Bulls what they're putting out on the court.
Yeah.
Is Coach Thibodeau, is he not the best coach in the NBA? Is he? I mean,
he's got to be right there.
I mean, just to look what he's working with and what he gets out of his players, and I mean, obviously, this is just my opinion. He's the best coach in the NBA. A lot of.
I'd put him up there and Popovich.
But
those
Pop,
are probably
he's with a veteran
2.
team. You got Duncan and you got Parker. That's a team that there's really not a whole lot of coaching. I mean, they've been there, they've done that. Where Thibodeau,
I'm not going to agree with that. Just because the only reason I'm saying that is because he put the system in play, and fortunately for him, he also has a general manager that's in with him, and they bring in the players for that system. But no, I'm going to agree with you. Thibodeau, he gets. I mean. Nate Robinson's playing like an all-star.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's Now, do you sign him next year and let Heinrich go?
You have Heinrich already signed. So,
did he sign it?
Yeah, he was a 2-year deal, and to be honest, I think somebody's going to pay Robinson the way he's played this year and this playoffs especially. I mean, this is going to be actually probably a pretty nice contract for him. He may get a 3-year deal out of it. So,
and he's a scorer. A lot of people don't like his game. They say he's too selfish, but with this Bulls team, you have to score. You have, you got to have somebody, your go-to guy, to get to the rim, and boy, he can get to the rim. He's 5'8". 5'8".
That's exactly right. He's a small guy, but he does.
He threw one down last night.
He's a strong dude, man. So, and like you said, he gets to the rim. He's not afraid to attack, and he does what he can defensively. So he's going to get a nice contract thanks to this playoffs, and he's not really, to be honest, I don't think he's a starter. I think he's a spark plug off the bench. And he's a fourth quarter kind of guy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, but the playoffs have been fun, man.
I don't really, I like watching the Bulls. The series isn't over. Heat up 2-1, still at Chicago. The Pacers and the New York Knicks, the series is tied 1-1. Oak City and Memphis Grizzlies, they're tied at 1-1. A lot of people like Memphis coming out of there. With Oak City, they lost Westbrook.
Westbrook being gone,
and Durant's got to take, he's got a lot on his shoulders right now.
Absolutely.
But a lot of people like Memphis, and they say that Memphis matches up with the Heat better than any other team. So if you're looking down the road,
that's not going to happen.
In the championship, you think San Antonio? They're up 2-1 over the Warriors. Warriors have a good young team.
I think that
Stephon Curry is
I think he might have gotten hurt last
night. Did he?
Yeah, rolled the ankle, his ankle that he's had issues with the last 2 years, and hopefully not. He is fun to watch. Yeah. Boy, he'd be fun to watch with Derrick Rose.
Oh, absolutely.
My goodness.
Well, I watched the first half of that, and Curry is a great player. Still young, still learning the game. He does do some boneheaded things, but he is fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
He is a scorer.
You guard him as soon as he gets across the half-court line because he'll put it up.
He will.
So, San Antonio, again, like you said, just really well-coached veteran team that, they go and do it. So I like them a lot. I actually like their matchup against the Heat if they get there. I think they might be winning our championship this year.
Well, we'll see how that unfolds. Moving on. It's enough NBA.
I'm done. You just want to get to hockey.
Well, no, I do, but we won't. Just a little tidbit for the Fighting Illini we talked about earlier. They just signed a contract with WSCR 670 The Score out of Chicago, going to be carrying their games on their radio station, which, it's a national station. You can get it down here pretty easy. And, they talk about Northwestern Wildcats as the Chicago team. Well, this is just kind of a little slap in the face, bringing Illinois on the
This
radio.
is a huge recruiting tool
Absolutely.
for Chicago. Northwestern and DePaul have been on 670 The Score. Actually, more DePaul, really, than Northwestern. And they needed the Illini need more of a presence in Chicago, and what better way to do it than get to the #1 sports show up there, jump on there.
Right.
A lot more advertising for them. You're going to have Coach's Corner and all that on there, so you're going to get some of these high school kids that are playing basketball up there. They're going to have a lot more gross in their life.
Yeah, yeah,
So-
and Gross is already bringing in. We had Comnick calling last week about some of the transfers coming in. So Gross, his name's getting out there, getting some big transfers coming in, and getting the recruiting class built up. Going to be young, but Illini basketball is up on the rise, and it may take another 2 or 3 years to get where he wants to be. But I tell you,
I'm telling you, with his recruiting class he's got coming for next year, it may only be next year, maybe the last year of what we would consider rebuilding.
yeah,
I think the year after that, if he lands a couple recruits, you could be talking about, Sweet 16, Elite 8. When you're talking consistently bringing in top tier recruits, you're going to get there with his coaching style. So as long as he keeps bringing in the people that fit his system, as opposed to bringing in who might be the best player, best athlete, he needs to make sure he's getting the good players. So
yeah, that stick around for a couple years.
yeah, that definitely helps. Hard to do sometimes when you want the elite blue chippers.
Right. When you want instant success and instant,
Yeah.
you want that, that blue chip player, but then, you also want them to stick around for more than 1 year.
That's exactly right.
Not turn into a Kentucky program where, wow.
Hey, I'd take a champion.
Well, I would too, but
man,
look what they did last year.
Yeah, but in fairness to them, they have the #1 or #2 recruiting class this year. So next year they're going to be
They'll be right
retooled,
back.
and
Yep,
they'll have half their team playing again. So half their team will be sophomores, and the other half will be blue chip freshmen. So they could be right there again.
They could. Little happenings in the NFL. Rookie camp started this weekend. So a lot of those rookies, I think the Bears, they've signed 5 out of 6 of their players that they drafted. I think the only one they haven't signed yet is Kyle Long, but he was in camp.
Yeah, he'll be. It sounds like that's a nice thing about that restructured drafted player contract thing. It's so much easier for them to get locked up.
Yeah, it's cut and dry, not where they can. You're only getting this amount, no more.
There's no more there. So you get it, take it, or you just set out.
Right.
So and look, they're all jumping into camp. And are the Bears missing much right now? I mean, I know there's some free agents out there and whatnot, but are the Bears missing much?
It's hard to tell. I mean, I don't know what this new coach, what he's like. I thought they had a solid draft, and we'll just have to see. Some of the free agents out there I was looking at, Jake, Charles Woodson, he's not signed yet, and he's pretty shocked about that nobody's wanting to pick him up.
Yeah.
Another one,
he's
Brian,
been healthy too last couple of years. So
absolutely.
Kind of
somebody's going to pick him up as
think.
soon as we get into camp, and he's going to stay. He's going to be in shape when it's all said and done. Somebody's going to pick him up. Somebody that a team may not pick up. That's Brian Urlacher. He's still out there. I don't see anybody really picking him up. Maybe 3 or 4 weeks into the season, injuries start happening, but I don't know. What do you think?
The only team I can see him sign with is with the Bears. I don't think any team
sailed.
Yeah, and that's it. I think the Bears wouldn't mind having him back, but it would have to be for the right price. And I think Brian Urlacher's ego, I don't know if that's going to allow him to pay or play for that price.
That's exactly what's going to happen. His ego, he's already been there.
Yeah.
The Bears offered him, I think, $2 million for 1 year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more than you're going to find, because you don't know what he has left in the tank.
And I don't know. He's still very solid, defender, but he's not elite. And that's my opinion, I guess. But I don't think of him as being elite anymore. And that defense it looked old down the stretch there, and there was a lot of catches over the middle that were caught that even a year or 2 years ago would not have been with him.
And the Bears just they drafted 2 linebackers and picked up 2 linebackers off free agency. So they've shored up their linebacking crew. And what people don't realize is linebackers play a big time role in special teams as well, because they're big and they're fast. So
that's exactly right. And they're both big and fast and agile.
That's why I don't see Urlacher coming back to the Bears. I think that ship has sailed, and he's he's out there, and other people. If he was that good, why isn't he on a team right now? If people, And another one I was looking at, Jake, not to change the Brian Urlacher subject, but Dwight Freeney. He's still out there, defensive end.
Now, that's an interesting guy right there. Because you can pick him up for a little bit less. He's a speed rusher. Would be a great third down, rush the passer type of guy. And how well would that go with Julius Peppers on the other side?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I mean, that could be that could be something the Bears could entertain. I don't see it happening, but I know they are wanting some defensive line help. So that'd be a guy that'd be pretty interesting.
Golf side of things, Players Championship at Sawgrass. Tiger Woods is 1 stroke behind Sergio Garcia, and Woods has only won this event once, and that was back in 2001.
Yep, but that's a interesting pairing there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Garcia and Woods. You haven't heard those 2 names together for years. So mainly because Garcia fell off for a long time, and then Tiger, of course, here recently. But I saw a stat where he's like in contention for the last 14 straight rounds, par and above or something like that for the last 14 straight rounds he's played. So that's a pretty good run.
All right, we'll bring up your favorite topic just to get the listeners out there updated. The Blackhawks, NHL, they just won the series 4-1 over Minnesota Wild, and we're waiting to see who they play next round. Some things have to unfold. A lot of series is still underway. St. Louis Blues last night lost to the LA Kings. Kings won that series, so we're waiting to see who the Blackhawks play. And to end the show, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the TV shows going on these days. They're pretty hard up for some entertainment. Check this out. This might be something that you might want to watch.
Okay.
Everybody knows Mike Tyson.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Tyson, they're going to turn him into a cartoon detective on the Adult Swim. It's going to be called Mike Tyson Mysteries. That will feature the retired boxing champion. On the show, a cartoon version of Tyson will solve wacky problems assisted by a trusty associate, a foul-mouthed pet pigeon. The network said Tyson will voice the animated character as well as make live action appearances. Now, how hard up are some of these TV stations where you're going to bring Mike Tyson into a Mike Tyson Mysteries? Are you going to watch that?
I'm going to say that may be DVR'd for me. That may be a must-watch.
Well, I was just looking over some nuggets and tidbits this morning, and I saw that. Thought listeners might have a little chuckle on that.
I'm just saying, but for me, it's I watch a lot of baseball, so that may not happen to be on my TV at all.
No, it's not going to be on mine. Tyson, he's back in the, he's always on those Hangover movies.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if he was in Hangover 3. That's coming out here pretty quick, and I'm going to have to go see that. But, no, he's definitely changed his life quite a bit. And he's actually doing speaking tours and whatnot, which is kind of scary to think about. But then again, he's been through a lot in his life, put himself through a lot of hardships in his life. So, it's kind of an interesting angle, I guess. Right. Maybe somebody will watch it for a week.
Well, Jake, we're out of time. Clock says 10:01. That means we're done here at Jim Xamis Ford. I'd like to thank our listeners for tuning in. Stick around because 96.3 WLCN will be at Jim Xamis till noon with Jim and Jeff number 2. So stay tuned. I think the prize girls are coming in, giving away some things. Get out here, buy you a new car. I think Jake's going to walk over and check out that white Ford.
Oh, my goodness.
And maybe
they better not
maybe take a ride, see if we can take a test ride. Thanks for tuning in.
I think they'll trade it in for a whole bunch of furniture.
Take a lot of furniture.
A lot of furniture.
I don't know.
That's probably a $60,000 truck. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Couple recliners. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Cheap Seats, 96.3 WLCNonline.com.
Good day.